You're 19, standing in a rented studio apartment with peeling wallpaper, holding a laminated gym trainee badge that smells like burnt plastic, and your starter Pokémon just fainted to a kid's Pidgey. Mess this up, and you're not just unemployed, you're blacklisted from the league circuit forever. And your mom already told everyone at church you're basically a gym leader. By the end, you'll know exactly what it takes to go from scrubbing sludge bomb residue off gym floors to holding an entire town's reputation in your pocket, and why most people quit before they ever get the badge case. So here's how it actually goes. Stage 1 is gym trainee, also known as the fodder era, and you're scrubbing toxic purple gunk off the battlefield at 6 in the morning because the leader's wheezing went a little too hard with sludge yesterday. Gym leader hasn't even arrived yet, and you're wearing a gray polo with trainee iron-on letters that are already peeling off after 2 washes. Your job isn't to win, it's to be a potion drain, to chip away at the challenger's resources so the real trainers can clean up later. But a 10-year-old with a freshly caught Rattata just swept your entire team because you hesitated on a switch, and now you're wondering if this was a mistake. The vending machine in the corner rattles when you kick it, eats your coins, and spits out warm soda, and it feels like a perfect metaphor for your life right now. But then, the gym leader notices you stayed late studying type matchups in the break room, and they offer you a provisional spot as a gate trainer, the first real opponent challengers face. Congrats! Now you're the guy everyone has to beat to prove they're not a total newbie. No pressure. Stage 2 is the gatekeeper grind, and you're standing on the left platform of a 2-trainer gauntlet next to a smug 16-year-old who's been here 2 years and will not stop talking about his critical hit ratio. Your new job is to master what they call the sweet spot. Push challengers to their last Pokémon to create tension, but ultimately lose to the competent ones. Crush the weak, entertain the strong. The problem is a kid's parent filed a formal complaint because you used a full-power Hyper Beam on their son's Charmander, and the gym leader pulls you aside with a coffee in hand and says, "We're a test, not an execution squad. Calibrate your team or you're back on mop duty." You tighten up, start actually thinking about whether to go for the knockout or let them outplay you, and within 3 months, you're promoted to mid-gym trainer, 3rd or 4th in the gauntlet. And the pay bump means you can finally afford a second Pokémon, and maybe groceries that aren't instant ramen. The vending machine gives you free drinks now because you're staff, and it becomes this weird comfort ritual before every match. Just you and a cold can and the hum of the fluorescent lights. But now, challengers actually study for you. Stage 3 is the reputation trap, and you've got a corner of the locker room with your name on a laminated card, and challengers recognize you from local forums. Someone made a full strategy guide about your team and posted it on Reddit with 300 upvotes. You start experimenting, building your own strategies instead of just copy-pasting the gym leader's type philosophy, trying to carve out a signature style without breaking the gym's theme rules. But then, a challenger live streams their win against you, and it goes semi-viral, and suddenly, you're that guy who got swept by a Magikarp. The gym leader doesn't yell, they just say, "You're making this look easy for them. Tighten up." And you realize you've been showboating. A month later, they offer you relief leader status, which means you sub in when they're gone for league meetings. And it's a test, obviously, but you take it anyway. You're holding the gym leader's badge case for the first time, and it's heavier than you thought. Like, the weight isn't the metal, it's everything the badges represent. Stage 4 is the substitute's dilemma, and the gym leader is gone for a weekend tournament, so you're alone in their office, sitting in their chair, and you have to decide if a 12-year-old with 5 badges actually earned a win, or if they just overleveled a Typhlosion and burned through your team with type advantage. You award the badge, and the kid's ecstatic, but an hour later, another challenger accuses you of being easier than the real leader. And then the next one calls you a try-hard filling in, and you realize you can't win either way. Too tough and you're a gatekeeper, too lenient, and you're a fraud. 3 months later, the gym leader retires early, a mix of an old shoulder injury and burnout, and maybe a quiet offer to train with the Elite Four. And the league fast tracks you as interim leader with an official vote in 6 months. The plaque outside still has their name on it, and yours is just a taped over label underneath. And every time you walk in, you see it and feel like you're borrowing someone else's life. Stage 5 is the probation period, and you're on a league conference call with 7 other gym leaders who've been doing this for a decade, and your webcam quality is objectively the worst in the grid, and you're pretty sure everyone notices. Your goal is to prove you're not a placeholder, so you redesign the gym puzzle, update the battlefield lighting, and add a new twist to the type theme without alienating the town. But the pressure is absurd. If challenger numbers drop, the league replaces you, and if too many challengers win, you're seen as too easy, and you lose funding for TMs and potions, and suddenly you're expected to run this whole operation on a shoestring budget. You pass the vote, barely, and your name goes on the plaque for real. And the town throws a little ceremony in the Pokémon Center, and someone's mom made a cake, and you feel proud and terrified in equal measure. You're a gym leader now, which means you're about to find out what gym leaders actually spend their time doing. Stage 6 is the job no one warns you about, and you're answering sponsorship emails at midnight, reviewing trainee applications with coffee that's gone cold, arguing with the city council about whether the gym roof repairs are a public infrastructure priority, and scheduling challengers like you're running a dentist's office, because apparently the league requires a 48-hour booking window now. You're also a role model, a gatekeeper, a local celebrity, and a budget manager all at once. And a new gym 2 towns over just went viral on TikTok with a fully immersive AR experience, and your challenger numbers dip for the first time in a year. The league sends a polite email that recommends you modernize, and you realize this job is less about battles and more about branding, less about Pokémon and more about politics. But you're too deep in to quit now, and honestly, you don't want to. You're respected, you're secure, you're exhausted. And one morning, you walk in at 6 and see a trainee scrubbing sludge residue off the battlefield in a gray polo with peeling letters, and you realize you've become the person you used to be scared of. You walk over to the vending machine, buy 2 sodas, and hand one to the trainee, and it's warm, and the machine rattles just like it always has. They look at you like you're a legend, and you remember when you looked at someone that way, back when you thought this job was just about battles and badges and being strong. You're not just the gym leader, you're the reason someone else believes they can be one too. And maybe that's the whole point. Some things never change, but the people holding the spare change do, and that's how the cycle keeps going.